In the quiet village of Umuagu, where the air smelled of firewood and palm oil, there lived a woman named Mama Ifoma, a round cheerful woman with laughter as loud as the market drum. Every morning, before the sun even touched the roof, she would open her food store in the village square. Her jollof rice and bean stew were so delicious that even the village chief would sneak to her store. No one could resist the smell, spicy, smoky, and sweet enough to make your stomach sing. Every morning, the queue at Mama Informal's store stretched longer than the wedding procession, and no one knew her secret. Before dawn, she would limp quietly to the back of her hut, remove the clothes around her legs, and wash a large sore that refused to heal. The water from that sore she poured into a small pot beside her stove, and from there her cooking began. The food sellers in the market grew jealous. They wished that Mama Informa used magic or charms. How can one woman sell everything before noon while our pots remain full? They murmured behind her back. One of them, Ngozi, decided to find out the truth. That night, when the moon rose like a silent drum, she followed Mama Ifeoma from a distance. What she saw almost froze her heart. Ngozi watched as Mama Ifeoma sat by her hut, uncovered her soul, and washed it into a pot. Then she whispered something to the night wind, a chant no one understood. The next morning, a soft golden smoke rose from the pot and drifted towards the market square. The next morning, Ngozi told the other market women what she saw, but no one believed her. "You are jealous," they laughed. But when one brave man followed Mama Ifeoma the next night, he never returned. That afternoon, a strange wind swept through the market. Mama Ifeoma's fire burned brighter than usual, and her pot hissed, though no one had added water. The villagers laughed it off, but old Mama Chinwe crossed herself 3 times and whispered, "Something is wrong with this food." Moments later, a young boy tasted her stew and screamed, not from pain, but from something he saw. He pointed at the pot, stammering, I saw a face, smiling inside the pot." The laughter died instantly. Rumors spread like fire. By evening, half the market avoided her stall, while the other half bought more, claiming her stew cured every sickness. But only Mama Ifeoma knew what was inside. That night, Mama Ifeoma stayed longer than usual at her store. When the last customer left, she covered her pot and began to hum a song no one had heard before. Slow, deep, and haunting, the crickets fell silent. Across the square, Ngozi, another food seller, watched from behind her store. Jealousy burned in her chest. Why did people love that woman's food so much? She decided she would find out before dawn. Ngozi followed Mama Ifeoma quietly as she carried her pot home. The moon guided their path through the tall grasses. The air smelled of firewood, palm oil, and something else, something so sweet at once. When Mama Ifeoma reached her hut, Ngozi hid behind the doorway through a small crack. She saw Mama Ifeoma place her pot down, roll up her wrapper, and fetch a small bowl of cloudy water. Ngozi's heart pounded. Mama Ifeoma dipped a rag into the bowl, squeezed it into the pot, and stirred slowly, whispering words no one could hear. The stew shimmered strangely, like it was alive. Ngozi gasped and ran. By morning, Mama Ifeoma's store was gone, her hut empty. Some said she fled, others swore they saw her purple wrapper drifting in the river at dawn. At dawn, Ngozi burst into the village square, breathless and trembling. She shouted, "I saw it! I saw what Mama Ifeoma did." The villagers turned, startled, dropping their calabashes. She told them everything: how Mama Ifeoma used the water from her wound to cook, how she whispered strange words. Some gasped, others laughed in disbelief, but one old woman nodded slowly. "That's why her food was sweet," the old woman said. "She fed your hunger with her pain." The villagers went silent. Then one man spat on the ground. "We must find her." The crowd moved as one, machetes, lanterns, and fear in their hands. They reached Mama Ifeoma's hut, now empty, with cold ashes still smoking. A torn piece of her purple wrapper hung by the door. Suddenly, a child screamed. They turned to see a clay pot at the doorstep, still warm, still bubbling inside. The aroma was the same sweet smell that once drew them all. The old woman stepped forward. "Don't touch it," she warned, but one man, greedy and bold, laughed. "Food is food." He dipped his hand inside the pot and screamed. His hand turned black, swelling like yam in boiling water. The pot cracked, spilling stew that turned into muddy water, crawling with worms. Everyone ran. That evening, the village priest gathered everyone. "Some powers are not meant to be tested," he said. They buried the pot under the ancient tree, and nobody sold food again for weeks. Weeks passed. Then one moonless night, a new food store appeared at the same spot. The woman behind it looked like Mama Ifeoma, but thinner, fairer, her eyes brighter than firelight. "Come and eat," she said softly. "It's still sweet." The market never felt the same again. Some swore the new woman was just a stranger. Others whispered she never left at all. But one thing was certain: whatever Mama Ifeoma started that day wasn't over. Watch out for part 2, The Nemesis of Mama Ifeoma. So guys, please, I believe you enjoyed the story. So please like, comment and subscribe. Don't forget to share and don't forget to hit the notification button. I love you all.